Hey everyone, welcome to a sort of shorter live stream today. This is probably only going to be around an hour, maybe a little bit longer, but I have some stuff that I have been needing to get done for a little while. Cosmos has some stuff he needs to say apparently, but I have some things that I really want to try and accomplish that I figure it would be maybe fun to just sit down and get them done, and hopefully have other people also get stuff done that they need to do. So I have a few things for my YouTube channels that I need to get done that I just have not gotten around to in a little while, and then a couple of other things as well. So I figure, why not just do a quick live stream with them, and hopefully everyone watching, if you have stuff to do, you can enjoy getting that done as well. I think that the feeling of having other people do stuff with you can be so helpful, so that's what I'm kind of trying to accomplish here. So, to start, I guess I should actually write out what I want to be working on today. Also, Cosmos is over here just hanging out. He wants some attention, but he just had a ton of attention. So, I will just try and keep him company while also doing what I need to do. I don't want this checked off yet. Okay, these should not be marked off. Also, I'm having my camera off for this because if I do some of the stuff like the laundry, I will not be directly sitting at the desk, so I don't want to have to worry about like getting up and going around. So this is just, I will be here hanging out reading chat. Most of what I'm doing is going to be at the desk, but okay, I have a lot of video stuff to work on, and let's see what else. Okay, so this last one is just, I have a few things that I try to do every day before midnight, Duolingo, stuff like that. So that's gonna be these. I think that's a good list for the amount of time that I plan to be streaming today. So this is satisfying, and hopefully everyone watching can enjoy it as well and get something out of it too. Hello, welcome. Cosmos heard me talking to someone and it thinks someone has broken in. It's fine. Hey, Ikiko, welcome back again. It's fun to always see you here pretty much most of the time. Yes, Cosmos, the internet people say hi. He's now investigating the closet to see if anyone's hiding in there. No one is currently. Hi, Cosmos. He's being very chatty. Yelling out the window. It's fine, Cosmos. There's nothing out there. Actually, there might be a cat. I don't know. Sometimes there's a cat out there, and it's really funny because half the time it's like far enough back in the yard that he doesn't actually notice that it's there. And usually it notices him first and then moves and runs off, and that's what gets him to notice it. But sometimes he does see it, and then he gets a little upset that something got into his yard. Yeah, the cat that comes to our backyard is about the same size as Cosmos. It's kind of a large cat. So, it keeps trying to catch birds back here. And I did a internship with a wildlife rehabilitation place where a lot of birds that came in, the reason they came in were because they were cat caught. And so every time it's out there stalking birds, I'm like, oh no, am I gonna have to take something into the facility? Because I hope not. But usually they always get away, as far as I've seen. I don't know whose cat it is, though. I think it might be either my next door neighbor or my neighbor that's like over the back fence. Because it always seems to go over the fence that way when it's leaving my yard. It also looks, it doesn't look really thin. It doesn't seem to have a collar, but it looks healthy enough that I don't think it's a stray, because it isn't really thin.
Hey, Cosmos. Cosmos. Nothing's out there. It's okay.
Very dramatic right now. Yeah, a lot of the things that we got were either victims of cats or cars. Or with birds, sometimes it was window strike as well, where they would fly into someone's window. But yeah. That place does good work. And also, it and a lot of other wildlife rehabilitation places rely on community donations. So if you have a wildlife rehabilitation place in your area and you're able to, donate to it, because they do really good work. And it's expensive buying that much food for that many animals all the time, and also medications and everything else that they need. So they do really good work and should be supported.
Cosmos, come here. Hey, Cosmos.
Very determined to yell out the back window. Thanks, Yukiko. He really is. He's so adorable. And a lot of people seem to like the videos of him. He's definitely talkative today. I think part of it was because he met two much larger dogs on a walk today, and I knew one of them. And so we went over and said hi, and it went mostly well, but I think he was still a little bit stressed out because he eventually wanted me to pick him up, and then he climbed as high as he could on my shoulder because they kept trying to like go up and sniff him, and he was shy. Yeah, he was very cute, but also definitely a little nervous about it. Yeah, he's definitely being very loud right now.
Hey, Cosmos. Cosmos. Let's go get your toy with this. Look. Here you go.
Now he gets to be on my lap, so he's calmer.
Did you need some attention? It's okay. Here you go.
There you go. When he was a baby, he was on my lap like all of the time, so he likes to be on my lap when I'm sitting at a desk and doing work. And normally, I'm getting really distracted because there's a mosquito in here. But normally, he when I'm recording games, he tries to climb all over me while I'm trying to do stuff with the keyboard, and it's sometimes makes it a lot harder to actually play games correctly. There you go. Cosmos is now trying to bite the mosquito when it comes near him. I think he can get it. He's brave. Go away, Audacity. I don't want you right now. Hi. One of the cats who lives at my parents' house will try to hunt insects, and the other does not care at all. Cosmos, I think he mostly only tries to hunt insects if one is actively annoying him. Like, if a bug gets in his face, he'll go after it, but if there's, like, just a spider sort of just hanging out, he doesn't care. But yeah. For him, it's definitely different. Like when the when we were looking at the bigger dogs earlier, he was definitely getting some gnats trying to fly in his face and trying to lunge at them and bite them. I just picked up the 2 kittens and we are on the way home now. It wasn't really even so much a swarm, it was like a few individuals that would kind of come at him, and he was not super happy about that. Thanks. I'm working on editing that video right now, actually. So, hopefully it should be up today or tomorrow. Like I said, I'm working right now on editing the kitten video, so I've had this stuff filmed for over a month now, and stuff's just been chaotic, so I haven't finished editing it yet. There's so much animal fur on this computer. Dramatic snore. It's always fun finding music to match to videos. Have fun. Cosmos. Alright, that video has been edited. It's processing now, and it's going to be uploaded probably tonight. Cosmos is crawling all over me right now. Okay. I'll do like half an hour more and then see how I feel. I did just post my kitten video, so that's exciting. Hey, Cosmos. Hi, everyone. Welcome. So for anyone interested in seeing the video that I just edited and posted, you can check the link there, and that is where they are. Thank you, Kiko. I really like their names too. My friend had them, and I went to see them one day, and she said she didn't have names for those yet. There were two other kittens who were also a separate sibling set, and their names were Loki and Thor. But these two didn't have names yet, and so I looked at them and I was like, well, this one's gray and white, kind of looks like the moon, and then this one's orange, kind of like the sun, so Tsuki and Tayo would be cute together. And yeah, so then I ended up getting them, and that's their name. And I have so many videos on this channel that I need to edit and post that I haven't yet, so this is good progress for today. Yes, they are very, very sweet. Thank you. I do my best. It's a little chaotic right now for reasons I'm going to get into in a different video. But yes, they are very sweet, and I'm happy that I can give them a nice home. And yes, Cosmos is in the video too. I thought it was important to include him and show that he's being taken care of too. Actually, it was super cute yesterday because I oh, so close. I almost got the mosquito. I encountered a situation where I opened the door to where the cats are, and Tayo's very, very curious. Tsuki's a lot more shy, which is kind of fun because it kind of fits what they're named after. But she tried to run out the door. Also, plot twist from the video that I now know that I didn't know when I recorded that. Tayo's a girl, not a boy. They're not brothers. They're brother and sister. But she tried to run out the door, and Cosmos was in the hallway, so he saw her, and she kind of like froze and stared at him, and they stared at each other, and then she was kind of like, ooh, interesting. But then I put her back because they're not ready to interact with each other yet. For, again, reasons I will be making a whole video about, and it's chaotic. But, yeah, now I have one video down of the videos that I needed to catch up on, and then I have two more, and then I have one that I need to start filming, and then actually a third one that I've already started filmed, but I need to add more to. Yeah, I'm definitely having several handfuls right now. Cosmos is now napping, but they're very, very cute. Also, yes, she is trying to be an escape artist. I think she's a little bit stir crazy in there, but hopefully soon they can be out in the main part of the house. I also have some cat proofing I need to do before that as well. They're definitely really, really sweet. I always grew up with having a lot of pets at once, basically since I was pretty young, so I've had a ton of different types of animals and multiple at once, so for me, I'm kind of more used to that. Cosmos is the first dog I've ever had, but he heard his name. But yeah, I've had multiple fish, mostly goldfish. I have had a couple beta. I've had a hermit crab, I've had several hamsters, I've had several guinea pigs, I've had several mice. I have had, there are 2 cats who live at my parents' house who I still have. I've had several chickens, and currently there are also 2 chickens at my parents' house. My sister has a horse and a bunny and 2 fish right now, also at my parents' house. The horse is not, the others are. And then I have Cosmos, I have the 2 kittens, and then I have, why do I feel like I'm forgetting some stuff that I've had? Oh, I've had like a bunch of insects that I just randomly caught. It's not exactly a pet, but I've had several Venus flytraps that I went out and caught bugs for. There used to be jumping beans in a gutter across the street from my first childhood home. And they were fascinating because I didn't really know what they were, and then my mom explained it, and I went out and stared at them all the time. I once had a praying mantis that I found and put in a jar. And it was kind of traumatic because I was probably like 6 and I found this praying mantis, put it in a jar, and then put a couple beetles in there too because I was told praying mantises eat other bugs. So I was like, okay, well, there's some food for them. And I came back a little bit later and the beetles had decapitated the praying mantis somehow. I still don't know how that happened, but it was fascinating. Also, I don't remember if I mentioned I did have a hermit crab also. Some things I wanted but never had. I wanted a turtle. I wanted a snake. Oh, I had a leopard gecko too. I did not mention that one. I had her for a few years, and she was old by the time I got her because she was basically not really a test subject, but she was like an animal that vet students learned on. And so she was already like 8 years old when I got her, I think. And so after a couple years of me having her, she actually started going blind, and so we had to use tweezers to feed her crickets because she couldn't see well enough to catch them on her own anymore. But yeah, she was very interesting as well. Yeah, I used to want a tarantula because my first grade pet was a tarantula. My first grade class pet, I should say, not my pet. We had a rose hair tarantula, and she was cool. And sometimes we were allowed to take her out, and she would crawl in our hands and stuff. I had a friend that had 2 corn snakes, so for a while I really wanted some corn snakes, but my mom didn't want us to have a terrarium big enough for them to really have a good life, so we did not have any corn snakes. But yeah, I've had many, many things. And so currently there are only 3 that live in my house, but in 2nd grade we didn't have a class pet, but we did hatch trout eggs in our class, and then we brought the tiny little hatchlings to a river and got to release them, so that was kind of fun. I used to also want a turtle and a tortoise. And one that I never really actively wanted but was really cool, and then my dorm mate in university had as an emotional support animal, was a chameleon. And she was really cool. She loved to climb up people's hoodies and ride on their shoulder and stuff. She was pretty fun. Yeah, my sister used to have 2 bunnies, but one died a few months ago. Apparently he had like a ton of cancer and hid it until one day she found him. So then she freaked out that maybe he was sick and her other one was sick, but I think she's okay so far. There was an interesting turtle at the wildlife rehabilitation place that I had who also really loved lettuce. And also chopped up smelt, which were disgusting when you had to clean us water out after that, because they were gross. After they were sitting out at room temperature for like 8 hours. Yeah, so far the other bunny's okay. I think she's just a little bit lonely because she misses her brother. But yeah, she seems healthy at least. Yeah, it is. Seems like you've watched some of her stuff too. Yeah, I probably will. Maybe tomorrow. Or maybe after midnight tonight. Who knows? Um, I really want to do more of Humble because that seems really, really fun. And I feel like I'm getting to the point with lakes, which is really interesting. I want to know what's happening off the cliff during the lake formation thing. Because that's the lowest area, but I don't know. I need to go explore that area more. And then I don't know if I'll do it as a stream or not. I might just do it with them, but one of my friends is interested in playing Selene, which is the hardest of the planets that exist in the game so far. So that will be interesting because that person is definitely not as experienced with the game as I am. And the description on Selene is something like a difficult planet for advanced crafters or something like that. So that's going to be really fun, but I'm curious why it's so difficult compared to the others. Like, I don't know if it's more dangerous or if there are less resources or if whatever you need to do is like a higher threshold to be accomplished, or I doubt there's gonna be any kind of like monsters in it. I keep comparing it to Subnautica way too much, but yeah, I mean, I just have a bunch of questions about what exactly it's going to be, but it seems really, really fun, so I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully it does not end horribly, even though that person doesn't know the game as well. But yeah, I will definitely be playing it again soon, and also probably have a recorded video of it again soon as well. But either way, I'm very, very excited. Yeah, there definitely will. And I think the base game is really fun too. In my playthrough that I'm doing on YouTube, I've discovered a bunch of really interesting stuff recently, and I'm getting to a really interesting point, and I'm really excited to see what happens at the next stage once I get to that, because it seems like it's a pretty major one. If it's going to result in what I think it might result in, which I really hope it will. I think it will. But I think like 20% away from that. I don't actually remember where I left off in the last one, but I'm super excited. It's gonna be really, really cool. Yeah. Hey, Cosmos. Yeah, he is. And also, I appreciate you using my pronoun correctly. Thank you for that. I feel like you've been attending enough streams and videos, so you probably learned it. But I appreciate that, because a lot of people either forget or don't know how to use it. So it's always exciting when people use it correctly. Oh, the compass argument is back. Yeah, the compass is only useful for turning it into rockets. Otherwise, I have never used it in either of my games. I had it equipped at one point, and I don't think I ever looked at it once. Also, in my playthrough of Toxicity, neither of us have compasses either, and we both think they're a waste of time. So, you're greatly outnumbered in your debate. Yeah. Something like that. Okay, done with that. Yeah, I have to say, I agree with Ikiko on that one. Even if the other player, if two players both have it, unless you are, like, right on top of each other, it doesn't actually help, and it just kind of confuses things more. Landmarks are a lot better, or just... I don't care what direction things are, I care what they're near. And also, what direction something is from where you are versus where they are. And if you don't know exactly where they are, you can't give directions based on where you are, even if you remember what's where. So unless you're, like, within sight of each other. Nova and I have perfectly effective communication, even though neither of us have ever equipped a compass in Toxicity. And we can always find each other. Let's see. 11:33. I think I'll do like 10 more minutes. I've gotten good progress with most things, but yeah, again, I have to agree with that. Nova and my way of communicating is much better because we've never once gotten lost from each other, even though we have no idea where each other is half the time. If we need to find each other, we know how to, because we use words and describe things. And if we had to rely on direction, not knowing where the other person is, it would definitely not work. I don't think you need Nova, because you just need to communicate the same way as we do. And also, in our case, neither of us has played Toxicity before, so it's all based on landmarks that we find and discover. But yeah, I don't think Nova's interested in playing in our playthrough at all, so she definitely doesn't necessarily need to be there, but our communication style is way more effective than anything compasses would do. And if you don't believe me, just watch our last VOD, because I got into a really weird place that I'd never been to before, and then I got there by like going over the top of the cliff, and then basically I was like, okay, but I want to come back here with her. So then we tried to figure it out by coming from a different direction, and we got there, and it went great. But then also I got almost stuck in a way, and it was really, really, really funny. But also, it's better to just watch it, because I don't want to give too much away if you're planning to. But it was really, really funny. But we did all of our communication without either of us ever having a compass, and I was able to find the place again without ever having a compass, just because I know what direction it is without needing a named direction on it. So it was just very fun. Because I know, like, in general, which direction I went, even if I don't know whether that's north, south, east, or west. I can't even say words, directions right now. But yeah. It's definitely fun. I think it is, it's kind of balanced in a way. She has played Planet Crafter to the end of the base game, which I have not yet. But Toxicity is new to both of us. But she knows really well what like everything does, except for the things that are exclusive to Toxicity, because there's like purification machines and stuff. Yeah, I remember like years ago when I first played Baldur's Gate with her, you wanted to see her perspective. So that is a game we want to go back to. A lot of stuff got really busy in the time between then, so it's been like a few years now. But we want to go back to that, and she will eventually start streaming as well. She had been planning to, and then she has some technical issues. So once she gets those resolved, she will be streaming too. So then you can finally get to watch her, because I know you've been asking for that for a long time. Several years. But yeah, we're gonna do our Planet Crafter. We want to get back into Baldur's Gate. We want to do more Stardew Valley, because we have that playthrough as well that we haven't been back to in months. And yeah, but I'm excited that we have this streaming schedule now, because I think it's definitely very, very fun, and it's nice to get to hang out with her weekly, at least. Even if it's just detoxifying a planet remotely. But yeah, Baldur's Gate is really fun. It's like D&D, but a video game. Baldur's Gate 3 specifically. I don't know anything about if there's 2 and 1, but that's the one we play. But we haven't in a few years, so someday we will finish that. And several other games, probably. I did the wrong thing. Undo. Stop. Ah! Okay, there you go. Yeah, I played D&D for a while. I haven't in a few years. I need people to play it with, but I also need time to play it. Also, I much prefer playing in person, but I know that's a lot harder because getting everyone in the same place at the same time is a lot more difficult. But yeah, when I played in person, that was really fun. I feel like it's also really fun to do it with people that act, because that's the group that I first started doing it with, and it's much more fun than the people that I've played with who don't act. Because when you play it with actors, the role playing is way better. Like, no offense to the people who are not, but with actors that I've played with, it's like people go full into the character, into the voice, into the backstory, and it's just more real. And then with people that I've played with who are not, it's kind of like, I'm now an elf. But I'm not gonna actually do anything to change my normal speaking or anything else. I once did a one-shot with a cast of a show I was doing during a break between two of our shows that were in the same day. And that was fascinating because everyone was really into the acting, but most of them had never played before. So that was kind of the issue because it was a lot of like, wait, I rolled this, what does this mean? Which, like, to be fair, it is kind of a complicated game when you're first learning it, but it was very, very fun. Yes, it was really, really cool, and I enjoyed it. Also, one of the things I was supposed to be doing today that I didn't quite get to was posting another short. I had one that I posted on TikTok, because that is the only thing I use TikTok for, is posting for that channel, where I had one audio, and then apparently that audio was, it got blocked for some reason, and so it was like, oh, change it. And I found a song, which I knew from before, but I thought of it to go with that book series, and it goes so well. It's Wonderland, and the book that I put it with was the first in the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, and that song, I should have used that one from the beginning because it goes so well with that that series, because that series is so good. It's one of the ones that I really wish I could go back and read again for the first time, because I love it so much. And one of the lyrics in the song is has to do with poison apple, and the character in that has this whole thing about apples, and it goes so well, and it makes me so happy. And I'm so excited because I get to read Caraval again this year. It's on my reading list, and I want to read it right now, but I can't because I have the novella that goes with it that I actually have never read. I've read all of Caraval twice, the series, the trilogy. But this novella that came out is like holiday themed, so I want to read it around the holidays, but that means I'm waiting on the whole series, and I don't want to because I love Caraval. Oh, yes, you've read it too. Yes, I love him. He's so cool. I love the whole series. And I love the way the other series intertwines with it. When I finally get around to reviewing Caraval, I'm going to talk about that as much as I can without spoiling, because, it's so good. Oh, the trailer for that was happening a lot during the Olympics. So, that's by the same person that did, like, Artemis and the Martian, right? I think so. The audiobook that I don't usually go for audiobooks over reading paper books, but all of Andy Serkis doing any of the Lord of the Rings Hobbit books. Absolutely incredible. And then I was trying to read the Silmarillion with an audiobook at the same time because, oh my gosh, the names in that book and the wordiness. It's Tolkien, but it's like the most extreme of his books to read. But yeah, those audiobooks are good. Someone else recommended me an audiobook recently, and I need to go figure out what that was, because it seemed interesting. I like how he said, Andy Weir said something about how he tried to keep the science in The Martian as accurate as possible, except for one of the really early things, because he had to break science for the character to not die immediately. Another sci-fi book that I have on my reading list for this year, which now I've just given up on finishing these tasks and I'm just going to talk about books for a little bit, is Kim Stanley Robinson, who is kind of known as like the pioneer or inventor of a subgenre of science fiction called climate fiction. And so I have one of his books. He's very, very famous. He's done the Red Mars series, which was very, very, very interesting. I don't want to give away too much. But that one's like really, really famous. And then he has several others, a lot of others. But the one that I'm reading this year is Ministry for the Future, I think is what it's called. It's either The Ministry for the Future or A Ministry for the Future, and I can't remember at this exact moment. But yeah, it's one of my mom's favorite authors. She also loves her favorite author of all time, I think it still is Ursula Le Guin. But yeah, Kim Stanley Robinson is up there. And I don't know when you read it, but I think that series has been completed for like at least a decade. Because as far as I know, it's just the trilogy. But yeah, anyway, Caraval. I want to read it so bad. I want to go start reading it right now, but it's like I have other books I need to finish. The ones I'm in the middle of right now, though, are very good, and I'm excited to review them very soon. But I feel like now I need to just do an entire live stream just to talk about books, because I could definitely do that. But that seems like it's more on brand for my other channel. But yes, I have all of my book reviews and everything, and it's very, very exciting. I am really looking forward to some of the books that I have this year to read. Actually, pretty much all of them. I wouldn't have picked them to be on my reading list this year. Some of them are less fiction. They're kind of more psychology-ish or nonfiction, which I'm not looking forward to quite as much, but I do think they're going to be important, and I want to read them. They're just not quite as interesting as novels. But yeah, it's definitely really fun, and I'm very, very excited. The only actual book I've read by Ray Bradbury, I know everyone talks about Fahrenheit 451, but the one that I've actually watched, or not watched, the one that I've actually read is, I think he's the one who wrote The Painted Man, which I read in high school, or The Illustrated Man. Whatever it is. I read it like 10 years ago. But that one was interesting. And I think that one was the one that had this really interesting story that was like set on the moon or something. The other book that I read in that class that I absolutely hated, which I feel like a lot of people really hate, I do not enjoy Catcher in the Rye. I very much did not like that book. Two that I did read in that same class that were extremely powerful and eye-opening were Night by, I feel like I'm going to pronounce his name wrong, Elie Wiesel, or however you say his last name. Really, really, really dark, but really, really powerful. And then kind of in a slightly similar theme, Kaffir Boy, who I cannot remember who that was by, but both extremely serious, extremely powerful autobiographies. Those were both very, very impactful. Yeah, the Martian Chronicles are very different. Yeah, Kim Stanley Robinson is very, very, very well known in the sci-fi world and sort of his own genre of climate fiction, so that is very exciting, and I ended up talking about books way more than I planned to. But now I have to go and not read Caraval, unfortunately, even though I really want to, because I am trying to save that. There's also a couple that I'm trying to wait to save for Pride Month, which I also really want to start reading, but I shouldn't, because it's only March, and I want to review them in June, so unfortunately. Yeah, my mom has, I want to say, like, all of his. Thank you. You will have to wait probably like around 9 months. But I also can't wait to review it. And also, yes, I love Caraval. I want to read it. I want to reread the other series. I want to read them all. And then I want to forget all of them so I can reread them again for the first time, because that is one of the series that, like, if I could read that again for the first time without knowing anything, I 100% would. And I really need her to publish more books. I have heard that apparently there is a novella coming out for Once Upon a Broken Heart, and if that happens, I need to go to Barnes & Noble immediately because I need that so bad. It's apparently kind of playing into the whole thing about how everything has a different ending, or like all the stories are warped in that series. So I can't wait. I need that novella in my life. I need Caraval back in my life. I need to time travel so that I can read it and review it right now. But I'm gonna be responsible and wait until I actually can do it with the holidays, because that seems like that makes sense. But yes, Caraval is the best, and I love it. And I want to read it immediately now. And then I want to read everything else. So, with that being said, if you want to stay and hang out in chat, I'm going to raid the same person that I raided yesterday, because I think they're doing really fun stuff in Subnautica, and I want to support them. So, if you are interested, keep hanging out in chat, and I will send everyone over there.